For many years, Europe was a passionate but often overlooked market in WWE's global universe with loud crowds, fiercely loyal fans, but very few true marquee events. Everything changed with the rise of Clash, WWE's reimagined premium live event series that brought stadium and arena spectacles back to the continent. From Cardiff to Glasgow, and with bigger French dates on the horizon, Clash has reignited Europe's wrestling scene, turned local heroes into global stars, and transformed once ignored regions into must-visit stops on WWE's calendar. This is more than a tour, it's a new era. Here's the real story behind WWE's bold European revival and the event redefining its future. Before we go into our explanation, we have a very small request. If you like our content, please support us by subscribing to our channel. This is a small click for you, but for us, it means a lot. Thank you. Let's begin. Clash at the Castle versus Clash of Champions. At first glance, the repeated use of the word clash can be confusing. Clash of Champions, which is the modern WWE PPV, ran from 2016 to 2020 and was a gimmick-driven event. The night's conceit was simple and effective, with championships as the focus and every active title on the card defended. That format leaned on nostalgia as it echoed the classic WCW or NWA Clash of the Champions series, while offering a tidy, title-centered show for the modern calendar. Clash at the Castle, however, is a completely different breed. Launched in 2022, it's a location-led premium event built around the identity of the host city rather than a single in-ring gimmick. The inaugural Clash at the Castle took place in Cardiff and marked WWE's first UK stadium PLE in decades. The Castle branding tapped into Cardiff's historic castle and the broader imagery of heritage, glory, and combat. The aim wasn't to force titles onto every match, but was to make the city itself feel like a character in the show. That geographic-first approach is intentional, branding international shows around local identity like castles for UK cities, Citadel-style visuals for other historic locales gives WWE a consistent visual language while letting each event feel bespoke. Using the word clash at the front serves a dual purpose. It nods to wrestling legacy, and it sells the event as a confrontation-packed spectacle. In short, WWE blends old-school recognition with new-school place-based storytelling. They have particularly reused the word clash because it's effective. The name evokes fighting and spectacle while allowing the company to graft new, locally relevant themes onto the banner, and in the post-COVID era, where WWE has refocused on international growth, that combination of legacy and localization makes strategic sense. These shows are designed to be cultural events, tourism boosters, and high-profile marketing moments. They were not just another stop on a tour anymore. Clash at the Castle fits squarely into this model. It's not merely a wrestling card, but a locally flavored premium event meant to feel prestigious and rare. That's a far cry from the format-oriented Clash of Champions, whose title-centric gimmick has been absorbed into other parts of WWE's calendar. The new Clash concept gives WWE creative and logistical flexibility. Castle works for certain UK dates, but shortening the umbrella to Clash lets the company adapt the show to Paris, Berlin, Madrid, or elsewhere without being tied to a single regional motif. So the next time you see Clash at the Castle on the calendar, don't expect a night where every champion is forced to defend. Expect a grand stage in an European city steeped in history, designed to showcase WWE's biggest stars to a global audience. It's not about repeating the past, but it's about creating a new legacy, one castle or city at a time. Why WWE needed a European supercard again. For decades, European WWE fans were among the most passionate and loyal in the world. But for much of the 2000s and 2010s, they were treated as second-class citizens in terms of premium live event access. After a boom in the late 1990s and early 2000s, when WWE regularly toured the UK and ran UK-only pay-per-views such as Insurrection and Rebellion, major televised PLEs on British soil essentially stopped. The 2003 Insurrection was the last UK-exclusive PPV under WWE's old model, and the UK would not host a WWE PPV again until 2022. That drought looked especially stark next to WWE's expanding global ambitions. The company became a truly international brand, airing in dozens of languages and selling out arenas across Europe, the Middle East, and Asia, while stadium-grade shows began appearing in markets such as Saudi Arabia and Australia. In 2024, WWE staged Elimination Chamber Perth, Optus or Perth Stadium, and ran major Saudi shows as part of its global calendar, illustrating how international stadium events had become central to WWE's strategy. So, what changed? And how did WWE go from a near two-decade absence of UK PPVs to staging Clash at the Castle as a cornerstone international event? The answer is both technological and cultural. The launch of the WWE Network in 2014 transformed how WWE thought about live events. Streaming removed many of the old constraints around US cable pay-per-view windows and made it feasible to broadcast major shows from anywhere to a global audience. An afternoon show in Europe could be packaged, promoted, and consumed globally without losing commercial value. But streaming was only part of the picture. The UK wrestling scene itself experienced a renaissance in the late 2010s. Strong indie promotions like Progress, ICW, Rev Pro, and others built a new generation of talent and a reinvigorated fan culture, and WWE responded by launching NXT UK in 2018 to establish a year-round presence and highlight homegrown stars. That local talent pipeline, combined with the broader availability of WWE's streaming platform, made the UK far more attractive as a site for premium televised events. A single performer helped crystallize that opportunity into a marketable stadium story, who is none other than Drew McIntyre. After returning to WWE in 2017 and rebuilding his career, McIntyre captured the WWE Championship at WrestleMania 36, which was held on April 2020, becoming the first British-born wrestler to hold WWE's world title in the modern era. Having a credible, marketable local headliner made the business case for big UK stadium nights far stronger. A homegrown face turns a touring show into an emotional, sellable moment. All these threads came together in September 2022, when WWE staged Clash at the Castle at Cardiff's Principality Stadium. The show was WWE's first UK stadium PLE since SummerSlam 1992 at Wembley, and the company's first UK PPV since Insurrection 2003. It was a true landmark that drew a stadium crowd in the 60,000 range and centered on McIntyre's home soil storyline opposite Roman Reigns. The night delivered large-scale, local color and a major storytelling beat that proved the model could work in practice. WWE doubled down on that model in 2024. The Clash concept returned in arena form to Glasgow, Scotland at the OVO Hydro on June 15, 2024, demonstrating that the format can flex between stadium spectacles and intense arena shows. The Glasgow show drew roughly 11,400 fans and leaned into local passion while advancing ongoing storylines on a large international stage. More than a marketing flourish, the Clash approach is a deliberate business and creative strategy that brands the event around a place. It folded local identity into production and story presentation, and lets regional stars or stars with regional ties play emotional headline roles that give WWE creative flexibility. The castle motif suits UK dates while letting the company evolve the umbrella brand, shortening it to simply Clash where that fits, so that Paris, Berlin, or Madrid can all receive thematically tailored editions. Finally, this model pays off on multiple levels. It rewards local fans with marquee moments. It boosts tourism and local publicity for host cities. It delivers compelling global streaming content, and it gives WWE a repeatable European summer window in which to headline stadium and arena shows. With streaming infrastructure, a thriving local talent base, and marketable homegrown stars, the UK and broader Europe have moved from overlooked outpost to central territory in WWE's international playbook, and Clash at the Castle is the template they built to prove it. What each Clash represented. Clash at the Castle 2022, Cardiff, Wales. Clash at the Castle 2022 marked a seismic shift in WWE's global strategy and an emotional high-water mark for European wrestling fans. The inaugural show took place on September 3, 2022. At Cardiff's Principality Stadium, which is WWE's first UK stadium PLE since SummerSlam 1992, and its first UK PPV since Insurrection 2003. The event drew a report of 62,000 fans, delivering stadium-sized scale, Celtic visuals, and the kind of raucous football-style crowd that made the night feel uniquely British and distinctly special. At the heart of the show was Drew McIntyre's home soil storyline. The Scotsman headlined against Roman Reigns for the undisputed WWE Universal Championship in an emotional, hard-fought main event that had the crowd believing McIntyre might finally claim the gold he'd earned during WWE's pandemic era. The finish instead produced a dramatic twist as Solo Sikoa made his main roster debut, interfering on behalf of Reigns and on the Bloodline to cost McIntyre the title. It was a moment that preserved Reigns' run and launched a new chapter for the faction. The undercard delivered as well. Gunther versus Sheamus for the Intercontinental Championship was widely praised. A brutal, hard-hitting contest many reviewers labeled a Match of the Year candidate, and among outlets, it earned rare 5-star acclaim. The bout's stiff strikes, physical storytelling, and crowd reaction made it one of the night's most talked-about performances. In short, Clash at the Castle 2022 wasn't just a return to the UK, but was a celebration of European wrestling culture, a stress test of WWE's international PLE model. It also proved that time, place, and passion can elevate storytelling into a genuinely memorable stadium moment. Clash at the Castle 2024, Glasgow, Scotland. WWE brought Clash at the Castle to Scotland for the first time on June 15, 2024, staging the show at Glasgow's OVO Hydro, the promotion's first PPV held in Scotland. The arena atmosphere was intense and vocal. The reported attendance was 11,391. A compact but deafening crowd that underlined how well arena-scale Clash cards can translate local passion into premium event energy. The Glasgow card leaned into local ties and emotional storytelling. Drew McIntyre's homecoming narrative was a through line of the night, but the World Heavyweight Championship remained with Damian Priest, who retained after a chaotic main event that saw CM Punk appear disguised as an official and interfere, which enabled Priest to keep the title. The finish kept McIntyre strong while creating an ugly, heat-filled moment that dominated post-show discussion. Several other matches delivered notable moments in local color. The WWE Women's Championship match in Glasgow was Bayley versus Piper Niven, with Bayley retaining in front of the Scottish crowd. And the evening also featured a highly emotional win for Alba Fire and Isla Dawn, who captured the WWE Women's Tag Team titles to a tearful celebration. Cody Rhodes showcased his resilience and skill by successfully defending the undisputed WWE Championship in an intense I Quit match against AJ Styles earlier in the event. These results reinforce that a Clash night can mix big title storytelling, personal grudge matches, and emotionally resonant local moments. Taken together, Glasgow proved Scotland can host world-class WWE events as well, whether in a stadium or an arena. The blend of hometown heroes, fervent fans, and high-stakes segments made the show feel like a turning point for WWE's UK presence and validated Clash's flexibility as a venue-agnostic European marquee. What's next? Clash in Paris 2025, WWE's European evolution. Following the strong reception for WWE's French return in 2024, which was the event, Backlash France in Lyon on May 4, 2024. The company doubled down on its European expansion by announcing Clash in Paris for August 31, 2025 at Paris La Défense Arena in Nanterre. This marks the first time WWE will stage a Clash-branded PLE in France, and booking La Défense, which is a world-class stadium venue, signals WWE's confidence in the market. WWE also streamlined the branding for the Paris edition to Clash, marketed as Clash in Paris. It was a move that frees the concept from the specifically UK-centric castle imagery and gives the promotion more flexibility to rotate host cities across Europe in future years. Shortening the name lets WWE keep the confrontational punch of Clash while tailoring the visual and thematic elements to each city's culture and landmarks. Some claims suggesting that the Clash at the Castle Paris 2024 event helped justify the choice of Paris are inaccurate. The premium wrestling show in France for 2024 was actually Backlash in Lyon, not a Clash event. However, the strong turnout and excitement surrounding Backlash contributed to making Paris an appealing follow-up for WWE's European summer schedule. Any talk of specific 2025 matches remains largely speculative. Reliable reporting and WWE WWE's own promotion confirmed the Paris date and venue, but card-level rumors like Cody Rhodes versus Gunther, Priest versus McIntyre rematches, Becky Lynch returns, etc. should be treated as unconfirmed until WWE announces matches on its shows or via official channels. When applicable, you can present those match ideas as plausible storylines rather than confirmed bookings. The rationale behind choosing Paris and its significance for Clash in the long term is quite clear. Paris provides the necessary infrastructure, enthusiastic fans, and stadium capacity to host a major premium live event, PLE. Additionally, establishing a recurring European Clash, whether as an annual event in Paris or a rotating summer show across the continent, would provide WWE with a reliable and prominent European opportunity. Essentially, a WrestleMania light that travels. Cities frequently proposed as potential candidates for future events include Berlin, Madrid, Milan, Amsterdam, London, and Dublin. However, these cities are still possibilities and have not been confirmed as hosts. This event is essentially a traveling version of WrestleMania that is less grand in scale. While these cities are often mentioned as contenders for future rotations, they remain unconfirmed as official hosts. Cities often mentioned as candidates for future rotation include Berlin, Madrid, Milan, Amsterdam, London, and Dublin, but those remain possibilities rather than confirmed hosts. Marvelous verdict. WWE's Clash series has done more than revive Europe as a wrestling destination. It has reshaped the way WWE connects with international audiences. Each event, from the thunderous homecoming in Cardiff to the electric return to Glasgow, has proven that European fans are not only hungry for world-class wrestling, but are vital to the global heartbeat of sports entertainment. Therefore, with authentic storytelling, emotionally charged matches, and a clear commitment to regional flavor, Clash has emerged as a flagship event worthy of annual anticipation, whether it continues in Glasgow or expands to new cities like Berlin or Madrid. One thing is certain, that WWE's European era is here to stay. Therefore, Clash is no longer just a nod to nostalgia or a testing ground. It's a cornerstone of WWE's future. And if the past few years are any indication, the best is still to come. And if you liked our content, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe to us if you haven't already. Have a good one and be safe. Thanks, everyone.